This is a quick reminder on the power of perseverance. I was talking to an inspiring client this week who had written quite a few speculative approaches to businesses that she wanted to do some work for. What that means is the job isn't advertised, but you're really drawn to the organisation, so you write to them essentially telling them why you love them in a very bespoke, seductive manner, and giving a brief summary of how your skills and experiences might add value to them. And she'd been very good. She'd sent quite a few of these and was probably getting a bit disheartened at points. And then she sent one to a small business, actually sort of pitching herself for quite a basic role. And the guy who read it realised that she was actually far too experienced for that role and offered her a much better role, a much more commercial role, which she did for a short-term period before travelling for 3.5 months. And she learnt so many skills and had so many different experiences from that 3.5 month stint of work. I don't think I've ever spoken to a client who has acquired so much commercial knowledge and experience in such a short time. That was actually sort of her first foray into the working world post-university, and will have beefed her CV out in, frankly, really wondrous ways. She'll be able to have her pick now as to which of those areas she goes into. So just remember, just because things can be tough sometimes, don't give up, because perseverance pays. I could think of so many other stories of clients there. A couple I'll share with you now quickly. One client who was really bright, fantastic girl, passed up for promotion, had a really difficult boss, to be honest, who really stifled her creative abilities. And yeah, it really hit her being passed up for a job that she really deserved, because this woman kind of had beef with her and was quite limited herself. But in the end, a brilliant job came up once she got clear on what she wanted to do and how she could leverage her unique selling points. It was a really testing interview process, actually, but guess what? She really excelled because she had that perseverance and that grit, and she really was the right girl for the job. And it was actually in quite a different area, but it leveraged her strengths, her clinical strengths that she'd acquired over 15 years. So that was such a victorious moment when she got that and had really persevered. Another clientele which actually almost made me cry when she sort of really hit bullseye. She wanted to leave a job that she'd frankly absolutely hated with a passion. I don't know how she managed to do it for 15 years. She really hated everything about it. And she was really at her wit's end when she came to coaching, which isn't always the case, but that was quite an extreme case of massive misalign. And yeah, it took a lot of perseverance to explore different avenues, to have different chats with people. She undertook a short course which helped sort of leverage her in a different direction. And she had a couple of interviews which didn't come to fruition, but in the end, she really nailed the right one. And she's so much happier now in a much gentler culture than the initial sort of high-powered legal culture she was in, but leveraging similar skills, but in a much more varied and interesting way for a very sort of high-profile non-profit organisation. So moral of the tale, don't give up when things are hard, persevere, because the right thing will appear if you keep at it. And remember that resilience is a really high performance habit. In fact, I'd say it's the most high performance habit in life, whether in careers or relationships.